One. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Yo Me Curo Sola in Spanglish. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your lives to check out another episode. Tanta risa que tuvimos ahorita que we're calming down.
We
But
had the giggles a little
We
bit.
got the giggles, but then I told Liliana, we can do whatever we want because we can. So Liliana, thank you so much, amiga. Welcome to another episode.
Gracias.
And without further ado, go ahead and get us started, amiga, because I got to take some deep breaths in here to calm myself down a little bit. So take it away, amiga.
Today's topic is either going to make you roll your eyes as you say chingada madre or make your heart explode with love. Porque hoy vamos a hablar de nuestros siblings como espejos. And we love our siblings. There's no doubt about it. Los amamos chingos. That's our blood. It's our history. It's the people who know exactly where all the buttons are and how to push each and every single one of them. Pero, ay, chingada madre, cómo nos colman el plato a veces. No sé tú, pero en el caso mío, growing up, ay, Diosito. I mean, me hicieron llorar, me hicieron renegar, but don't mess with my brothers. Nobody can mess with my brothers porque yo soy la primera en salir a defenderlos.
Yeah.
And vice versa. They're the ones that defend us all the time. So even though sometimes we're defending them, like nobody else better say a word about them, a few seconds later, we're going to be saying, ay, Dios mío, ¿por qué eres tan güey? And that's okay. It's part of our experience. Pero hoy vamos a hablar de nuestros hermanos, nuestras hermanas, a verlos de una manera distinta. What if they're here not just to annoy us, not just to compete with us, ni tampoco para poner a prueba tu paciencia? ¿Qué tal si vinieron a no nada más a chingarnos la vida, como muchas veces decimos, sino a mostrarnos algo de nosotras mismas? Because siblings are usually our first rivals, our first comparisons, our first taste of jealousy, our first ¿por qué ellos sí y yo no? They are the first mirrors that life hands to us. Y antes de tener novio, antes de ese jefe mamilas que a todas nos ha tocado tener en algún momento de nuestra vida, and before the world starts projecting onto us, it was them, our siblings, that were starting to show us something about us. So today we're going to discuss how our siblings have reflected parts of us that we're asking to be seen, owned, and healed. And maybe, just maybe, cada vez que nos colman el plato, no es para hacernos renegar, but rather life whispering, mírate. Mm-hmm. Perhaps something in this episode is going to trigger you. Puede ser que sientas resistencia, que te incomode, que tengas momentos de ternura y momentos de coraje. Recuerda, no tienes que resolver nada hoy. No tienes que defender tu historia. No tienes que justificar tus decisiones. Solo siéntelo. Make note of it. And as usual, before we get started, take a deep breath in and exhale. Y amiga, let's start out by sharing with our listeners how many siblings we have and what number you are. And I'll start with myself. Yo tengo una hermana mayor that is from a prior relationship from my dad's side. And then tengo tres hermanos from my mom and my dad. Y luego llegó la reina de la casa, who to this day continues to be the princess of the home.
Forever.
Forever. ¿Y tu amiga?
Yeah. Nosotros somos 5 in my family. So yo soy la segunda de 5 children. So tengo una hermana que es un año, like she's a year and a half older than me. And then I have a little sister that's 2 years younger than me. And then I have 2 younger brothers. One of them is 6 years younger than me, and the other one is 7 years younger than me. So yo vengo siendo la segunda de 5 hijos.
Okay. So in your family, all of us usually take on a role.
Mm-hmm.
One's the responsible one is la rebelde, the other was the invisible one, la mini mamá. What role did you play, and how did your siblings reinforce that role or that identity?
Let me see. So the role that I played, and I think I played that role for pretty much most of my life, was a rebelde. It was a rebelde. I mean, I since I remember, that's just who I was. I questioned everything, me quejaba por todo, defendía a todos, me peleaba por todos, nunca me quedaba callada. I remember que me decían mucho like, don't say that. That's not proper. That's inappropriate. And I was just like, why? So yes, definitely la rebelde out of my family.
Did your siblings ever do anything to try to get you out of that rebelde role?
Um, I think that it might have been maybe more my older sister, because we were only a year and a half apart. But my older sister took, even I called her my older sister even though we're so close in age. She took on the el role de la mamá. She was a mini mama. Entonces she also became the mini mama for me. And she was like, when my mom wasn't there, she was the one that said, hey, cálmate, that's not appropriate, don't say that. And I listened, like me caía gordo, but I listened because my mom wasn't usually there. So yeah, it was her. But yeah, like now I think about it, I'm like, oh, my poor sister. Yeah, I mean,
¿Qué trabajo le di?
I think she pushed me to kind of like be more like her, take more of that role. And I tried, honestly, I tried, like, helping her, with raising my two younger brothers. But I always, like, siempre siento como que siempre I resented that. I'm like, I don't, like, sentía como que you want to be the mom. I don't want to be anybody's mom. Like, I don't want to be anybody's mom. I just want to be a kid. I just want to play, and I just want to. But yeah, it was her. Like, she always pushed me more to just being more responsible. Just to having more structure, and she worked really hard. And so it's her.
Now, what about the rest of the siblings? What role did each of them have?
Oh my gosh, so interesting. So with my little sister, she's always going to be my little sister. She's 2 years younger than me, and before my brothers were born, she was a baby, and I treated her like, like she was a doll. And I played with her, and we became best friends. She became my best friend through, the whole time that I was growing up. And she always wanted to be like me, and she always wanted to do things like me. And I think she looked up to me. And so whatever, like, en cualquier travesura que yo me metía, like, she was always there with me. She was always my backup. She was a psychic. She was like my backup for anything. She's a tiny little thing. And she would, like, fight big girls. If she had to fight for me, she would fight big girls for me. And that was
Okay.
my little sister. She was like my ride or die. And so it was her and I. And then when my brothers were born, it was basically a group effort to help take care of our brothers, because aunque ella estaba más chiquita, she was just a little, she was 5 at that time. She did her best to try to help out and assist us with taking care of our brothers. So yeah,
So all of y'all turned into mini mamas
we did.
when your youngest siblings came in.
With Yes, we definitely all switched to the role of mini mamas. And but my sister, Laura, the oldest one, she was definitely like the leader. And we just looked to her to see what we had to do, and then
Mhm.
she told us, and then we just kind of went and did it. It was
Like, yes,
very
ma'am.
interesting. We did. I
She
mean,
gave marching orders.
yeah, renegábamos and everything, but she always knew she always just knew best. She was just really a lot more responsible than I ever was, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then my little brothers just, I mean, they came to just be, you know, children and to annoy us and to do all the things that kids do, and we build
Push
relationships
those
based on that.
buttons.
Push the buttons, a lot of buttons. Yeah, definitely.
So when you look at all of your siblings, which one of your siblings would do something que te encabronaba más? Like to this day, you can actually just go to that precise moment and be like, oh,
Yeah. Okay. So that is actually my little brother, the youngest one. And him and I are it's 7 years. Actually, yes, it's 7 years with him. And you know what? When he was born, a year after my other younger brother was born, I remember I told my sister, "I'll take this one, and you take that one." I made that decision when I was 7, and I said, "You take that one, and I take this one because you can't take care of both of them." So at that moment, like I took on that role of being his mom, and like I took it on like really really serious. You know, when it came, even I was a little girl, but I thought I need to discipline. You know, he needs to be disciplined. So yo me lo fregaba and you know, potty train him. We learned, you know, we taught both of them how to be potty trained, and we did all those things, and it was always my little brother, like the one that like me hacía cabronar porque no me hacía caso, you know? And then as he started growing up and becoming a teenager, I was just like, you gotta listen, like, you gotta go to school and you can't be hanging around with these kids. Very, very, very parentified. We all became parentified, but my relationship with him became what it was because I took on that role. I literally like programmed myself to become, you know, his second mom, and he didn't know it, but I knew it, and that's how I treated him. and and those challenges, I've talked a little bit about it, you know, in other in chulas, chulas pero mulas, because it actually impacted me like in a bigger way than I had imagined, because as he started growing up and just going through life and learning lessons, then his lessons became really hard for me to see as lessons, because every time he hurt, I hurt, and every time he you know, he was learning something, I felt like I was learning it, and it hurt me, like it hurt me to the point where like I can't be around you because I can't control you. And I really wanted to control him. Like I wanted to do kind of like the same thing that I did with my children. I wanted to control him like I was a mom, and it didn't work out, you know. So it kind of strained our relationship for a long time because he rebelled. You know, he was like, "You're not my mom. You can't fucking treat me like that. You can't tell me what to do." And then you know, it wasn't until years later then I realized like I'm not your mom, and I can't do that, and it's not good for me, and you're not learning, you know. But he was the one that taught me that. He definitely, like he definitely pushed my buttons. If there was anybody that pushed my buttons,
that would be.
that would be him. But he's also the one that I am like the most proud of. Like you know, he's a truck driver now, and he went through so many challenges, and every time he said I can't do this, I was like, yes you can. Why can't you? Why can't you? If you try it once and you don't succeed, what are you gonna do? He's like, I don't know. Maybe I'll no. And then I would have conversation with him, and I would say things like, if you don't make it the first time, then you learn, and then you do it again. And if you don't, and if you can't get it the next time, then you do it again, and you do it as many times as you need to, so you can get this. If you want your truck driver's license,
Mhm.
why can't you? There's no reason why you can't do it. You just have to practice and study and work. And um and so I would have conversations with him, you know, later on in life, and it was more like believe in you, you know, like I después ya le podía decir como cosas como like believe in you, like you just need to believe in you, because if you believe in you, then you can do anything. And look at me, like look at me as an example. And so you know, that started to change because then every time like he had great news, he would come and be like, oh my gosh, guess what happened? And I would like, I just had this like sense of like just being so proud of it. Again, still like very much like a mom, but now having that boundary and knowing that I'm not your mom, I'm your sister, and I admire you now. I'm just really, really proud of you.
And
So
I'm going to
that
act like
changed.
your sister.
Yes. And I act like a sister now. I sure act like a sister now. And right now I just want to be his sister. I don't want to be his mom. I just want to be his sister, you know? But it's
So
interesting.
you mentioned that control was something that que te encabronaba eso. El hecho de que no te permitía controlarlo.
Yep.
Is that something that you think he was mirroring back to you about yourself?
Oh, that's a good question, girl. I think so. Honestly, I think so. I think that's what he was. I've never thought about it like that, but I think that he did. He came to mirror this feeling of wanting to control everything in my life, like literally everything in my life. I mean, I had to go to Al-Anon so I could learn how to not want to control everything, because the control issues that I had were like beyond normal. They were the kind of control issues that caused me anxiety, and they caused me like a lot of like emotional kind of feelings that que no venían al caso, pero yo tenía eso que quería controlar, and
What
yes,
were you trying to heal?
I think that I was trying to heal, not like feeling when I was growing up. I think it was that feeling of not being able to control anything. Like it was a feeling of I felt like I always like was taken advantage of because I didn't have like any kind of control over me. Like I didn't have this ability to like control like the things that I really wanted to say, the things that I really wanted to do. Like I don't know. It's really interesting, honestly. I'm gonna have to sit with that for a little bit because I never thought about that. Thank you for bringing that up. But it was, and it's been that issue has been reoccurring throughout my life, and it stems from my childhood, and I know that it stems from my trauma. I know that it stems from my abuse. I know that it stems from that, but I feel like I got to go all the way back. I'm
All
gonna
right,
have to go
that's
all the way
fair.
back. And remember, we talked about
That's
that.
fair.
I'm always having to go back, so I'm gonna have
Yes.
to sit with it and observe it.
I
And
did my job. I'm done.
thank you.
Ya. Ya se acabó el episodio. Muchas gracias. Buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenos días.
So yes, I have to get back to you because I gotta go back pretty far back for that. Yeah.
I'm going to show you my perspective on control. So for me, I wanted to be in control of everything. In my case, control I executed in my career, but also control over my daughter in many aspects. Even though it seemed that I gave her free range to do everything, to try everything and experience everything, I always did it in a controlled environment. And I would always say that. It's like, I help her choose, I influence the decision, but it's always in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And it's like, ¿por qué? Why did I feel the need to control? And I could always stick to the excuse of, porque soy su mamá, and that's my job. But the reality is that the reason that I wanted to control what she did or didn't do was because that little Liliana that was still hurt wanted to prevent that amount of hurt in my daughter. I didn't want her to experience the pain that I did as a child.
I see that.
And again, it doesn't matter, what my parents or my siblings would say about my pain, porque siempre decimos, ay, no es para tanto, no seas exagerada. My pain was my pain, and it doesn't make it anybody else's pain. It's mío. It's my experience. And so that experience that I had as a child, I didn't want it to repeat in my daughter. So por eso siempre necesitaba controlar el ambiente para tratar de evitar de que ella sufriera lo que yo sufrí. So when you're looking back at your own experience, take that into consideration.
Yeah. You know,
Are you trying to prevent that?
yeah, and I think you know, like just thinking about it, I think that that definitely had an impact when with my children and as I was raising them. But I think what happened with my brother at some point was that like I became aware that he wasn't my child. Like I
Mm-hmm.
became aware that he wasn't my child, so that had to change for me. The way that I like that control that I felt about preventing it, like the way you explain
Mm-hmm.
it, that happened with my children. And I, you know, that did what it needed to do with my children. But with my brother it was really different. With both of my brothers it was different, but with my youngest brother, eso sí me tomó mucho tiempo porque me tuvo I had to become aware that he just wasn't my child. It just wasn't my
Mm-hmm.
child. And that needed to change, whatever needed to change in me, so that I didn't have those feelings, you know, like I like just kind of like see him as I wanted, like now I want to have this relationship with him as my equal. Nothing like he's, you know, he's in his mid 40s now, in his early 40s. Like I want to be your sister. Like I want to hang out and I want you to tell me what's going on with your life and if you need my advice, you know. But that's like I would love to have that kind of relationship. But I think it's been so many years of programming, and I feel like I haven't become aware of all of it yet. It's a
It'll
lot.
be interesting to see what you
I
come up
know.
with now that you're, even more aware of the
Now that you
situation.
Yeah, now that you pointed it out to me, because yeah, it's something that I haven't really like sat down to see where it came from. De donde viene.
All right.
So
All right. To be continued.
to be continued.
Ahora, cuando ves a todos tus hermanos y las experiencias que tuviste con ellos, was there ever a point where you were compared to one of your siblings? Or did you compare yourself to them on your own?
Both. So, so se me hace que esto le pasa a muchas personas que vienen de like, nuestra cultura. Esa cosa de compararnos, como en nuestra casa, and you know, with like the extended family or friends, whatever of the family, it was always like, ay, que las niñas. Ay, qué bonitas están las niñas. And then as we started growing up, we started becoming different. I look very different than my siblings and my two sisters. And my older sister was always very, she was so like skinny and she was really pretty and she was just like she was a beautiful young girl. And my little sister was like small and petite y morenita y bonita, and I was neither of them. I was taller, my skin was light. I had really crooked teeth that I never smiled because me daba vergüenza because people would make fun of me. And so I grew up like feeling like, how come I don't look like her? How come I don't look like her? Like, I don't look like them. I don't look like them. I don't think I belong in this family. Like, I don't look like them. I'm not pretty like them. I don't talk like them. I'm always mad, you know? And so I started making this comparison between me and my sister that I didn't look like her. And that like did something to me. It kind of created this like really como angry personality in me. And then, you know, it's
Hence la rebelde, right?
exactly. That was like my era de que estaba bien rebelde, because because the world was pointing out to me, or at least that's how I perceived it, um, that she was better,
The
that she's
world
prettier. Yeah, my
with your two
world,
hands.
exactly. That this world, that she was prettier, that she, you know, she was just better than me in every single way.
Mhm.
And that also didn't allow me to form a stronger connection as we were growing up, because I always compare myself to her, and then I didn't like her because I couldn't be like her. And that happened to me with not only her, but with other women throughout my life, where my lack of self-confidence was placed on other people. I expected her to give me confidence instead of giving me confidence. You know, I didn't know that. And so yeah, I didn't like her because she was skinny, and I didn't like her because she was pretty, and I didn't like her because she got all the attention, and I didn't like her because everybody said she was everything that I wasn't. And when I finally told her, she was like, I didn't know you felt like that. And I was like, I did. I didn't like you. I didn't like you, and I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry because she's an amazing human being, but yes, cuando estábamos
Ujú.
jovencitas, I didn't like her very much. I was just
La
like, you,
belleza atraviesa tus heridas.
sí, completamente. Like, I was like, tú ten tus amigas, and I'm gonna have my friends, and like, yeah, you kind of you do your thing and I do my thing. And I didn't include her in anything. I didn't want her to be included. I didn't want her to be a part of that because it was always like they're gonna like you more because you're the pretty one. They're gonna like you more because you're the skinny one. It came to the point where I didn't even want to have a guy that I liked or a boyfriend meet my sisters because I
Oh,
felt,
wow.
yes, I felt so uncomfortable and I felt so insecure that I thought if they see her, they're gonna if this guy sees her, he's gonna be like, oh, I like her, porque me había pasado que I liked a guy, and then they would they would just befriend me, pretend like they like me, so they can get to my sister.
To get close to the sister.
Always, at least a lot of times. I don't even know how many times it happened. A lot of times in high school, and then so that I drew my line, and I was like, you do your friends, my friends, we don't mix. And I did that to her, and she didn't even know why I was doing it. She didn't even know. She's like, but I want to hang out, and I was just like, no, not you know.
Do I need to go get my escoba so we can fly at dawn? Just saying. Just
Girl.
saying.
Yeah, I know, but yes, I think it was her, definitely. It was my elder sister.
Did you have your family constantly reiterate that and kind of throw that at your face? Like, como muchas buenas familias latinas.
Mhm.
Ay, mija, ¿por qué estás más prietita que tu hermana si tu hermana está bien blanca?
Yep.
Ay, mija, ¿por qué estás gordita y mira a tu hermana tan delgadita y tan guapa?
Yep.
So that narrative didn't help.
Nope. No, it didn't. It didn't, and it's so interesting because like families
¿Y nadie las
participate.
corrigió?
Not no. Like it was como like it was so normal in specifically in my dad's side of the family. Yo me acuerdo que in my I used to love to go to my dad's side of the family because I looked like them and I was accepted, and they
Mhm.
and they made a lot of hacían un escándalo conmigo, and I was like the favorite. I was my grandpa's favorite, and I was my grandma's, and I knew it, and I loved it. And they treated my siblings, my older sister, my little sister, and my little brother, porque ellos son más morenos. They treated them differently, and I didn't see that because I was a kid, because I was just getting all the attention that I didn't get anywhere else. So I loved it.
Mhm.
And something else was happening to them while I was having that experience. And I didn't, until my sister and I had a conversation. She's like, yeah, like, you think that affected you, but you never stopped to think that the way they treated you affected us. We didn't feel like we were good enough for them. And I was just like, I didn't know that. I'm over here, and I felt so awful because I'm over here complaining about, oh, poor me, and nobody loved me, and I had a lot of attention. Isn't that interesting?
Estabas con tu violín tú solita. Ay,
Sí,
pobre de mí.
yes. And so se me hace que I have been perceived, but through, by my siblings, like, kind of a complainer and a whiner. Like, you've always had people that love you. Till this day, that they have this special love for you because you look like them, and you're still complaining. And I'm just like, I didn't even know what to say, because now that was their experience, you know and so it's kind of
Mhm.
it does. It's like these our families did that. They did that to all of us. Cuando que querían a los blancos, a los güeritos, nos querían más. Y a los que estaban más morenitos no les ponían tanta atención. My grandpa le decía, mi grandpa, I love him. He's already gone. But I remember que le decía a mi little sister, porque ella estaba morenita y chaparrita, y le decía, mija, venga para darle una encalada. Encalada. I didn't know what that meant. God is the white stuff that you put on people, right? To make them white. She used to tell her that. And then I was little and I didn't know. And I
Wanted
thought,
to put lime, right?
see,
Lime.
it's lime.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which
then
is super white.
exactly. And then my little sister when we used to come and visit them, she used to run to my grandpa afterwards and be like, abuelita, ahora me va a dar una encalada? And my grandpa would laugh. And we would laugh and everybody would laugh. And then when I grew up and I found out, I was like, that's fucking mean. That's fucking mean. Like he was a grown man, saying this to a little girl. And then I'm just like, abuelito, sí, dale una encalada a Claudia. And I didn't fucking know what that meant. But I just knew that everybody was laughing. So, like shit like that.
Yeah.
And so that happened a lot to us. I know I'm getting off topic when it comes, about this, but I think that it's important for me to become aware of this and to express my awareness of it, because I know that it didn't only happen in my family. I know that there's a lot of families they continuously do that with colorism, que tratan a los que están güeritos, los tratan diferente, que tratan a los que están morenitos. And I think that no tener esa clase de conciencia crea niños muy self-conscious. Nos hacen algo de pensar que es mejor, y yo así crecí. Yo pensaba that I was better. Yo pensaba that I was better just because I was lighter. I thought that, and I grew up with that like arrogance when it came, to my dad's side of the family. And it wasn't arrogance. I was ugly. And I did it to my siblings. And I would be like, ay, tú estás prieto. Ay, cállate, cabrón. Tú estás bien prieto. ¿A ti qué? Like, that's mean. And I would do that, and we would use a word, prieto, and we would use a word like, ay, I used to sing a song to my little sister, and I thought that it was cute. But it's not. It was a fucking racist song. It was like I created it into a nursery rhyme, calling her negrita. And I did that because that's how I was taught. That's what I was taught. So
because we're taught that that's not wrong, that's love, que es un cariñito.
No,
that's a way of expressing love, when in reality
it fucks us up.
We've created a lot of not only division amongst ourselves, but a lot of wounding to that individual. So for sure. A mí muchas de las personas, incluso I want to say probably about a year ago, me dicen que estoy güerita. I mean, look at me. Estoy güerita. I was at a party with some friends, and my daughter was with us. Y una señora que apenas había conocido esa noche, we got off great. Estamos a plática. And she made a comment about, ay, es que tú estás bien güerita. And my daughter, she's like,
yeah.
¿Güerita? Why in the hell would she even dare say anything about your skin color? You're Mexican.
Yeah.
Like, ¿por qué te tiene que distinguir? Si ella es mexicana y tú eres mexicana, ¿por qué te tiene que distinguir que ella está morena y tú estás güerita? She's like, why? Why are we even talking about that? Like, she was obviously upset for a couple of days after that conversation. It's like, mommy, it exists. To this day, at this moment, it exists, and it's seen as normal. Yep. ¿Por qué? Porque así nos educaron, así nos criaron, y así ha pasado por décadas y generaciones.
Yep.
That colorism. So yeah, it's very valid very much alive within our own
within our culture,
household.
Yeah,
definitely within the culture.
It's fucking crazy.
Algo for all of us to become aware of.
Yeah, I think
Poner
so.
atención.
Ya, esos no son cariñitos. Esas son palabras que se quedan, que son palabras racistas, que se quedan clavadas en nosotros y nos hacen algo, nos cambian algo adentro de nosotros. Nos hacen either feel superior o nos hacen a sentirnos menos. None of those are good when we're
Y
growing
sobre
up.
todo en este país donde estamos.
Exacto.
So
Exacto.
that's a
That's another
whole
topic.
conversation right there.
I know. I know.
We're not going to put our cuchara en esa
No,
olla porque
no.
esa olla está tamaño de una alberca.
Sí, yo sé. Pero un día sí me gustaría hablar de colorism. Sí me gustaría mucho porque yo tengo muchas experiencias que tienen que ver con colorism que no hablamos porque no es apropiado, porque eso no se habla, pero en nuestras casas lo tenemos que hablar porque la mayoría de nosotros tenemos hijos que están de dos colores. Uno que está más güerito y el otro que está más morenito. Y eso de que no son iguales, I don't know where the fuck that came from, but we got to look at it because that's not good. It's not sending a good message for our children. So,
Yes.
I
Yes,
agree, amiga.
absolutely. Make note.
I will make note. Make note.
Y mientras tú tomas esa nota, vamos a ver algo más
A ver.
sobre nuestros siblings. Tus hermanos o tus hermanos, is there a quality in one of them that you admire and have admired all your life, pero que no les has dicho sobre esa admiración?
Yes. Yes.
Cuéntanos.
Yes, I'm just like, estoy haciendo memoria. I have a very deep sense of admiration for my older sister, for Laura. I need to start calling her my older sister. I know we're only a year and a half apart, but I just see her a lot wiser and older than me. I have a deep sense of admiration for her because I think that all like everything that has happened to her based on her experiences as a child like created the human that she is today. And
Mm-hmm.
I learned from so many things from her, that one of the most important things that I learned from her and that I admire about her, because there's so many of them, is that she was in a marriage that didn't work for her, and then she made a choice not to be in that marriage anymore. And she made a conscious decision, and I saw her struggle through it, and I saw her really suffer through it, and I saw her like I saw what it did to her, and then it made me realize like why so many other women like don't make those decisions. And then it brought into perspective my mom and my grandma and all of the women that I admire in my life that weren't able to make that decision because of what it like lo que pasa. And my sister was the first one in our family to make that decision, and I admired her so much for it. And I know that I have told her how much I admire her, but I don't think that, or perhaps I have. I've had so many conversations with her, but if I haven't, like, I would say that I love her and I admire who she is as a human, but I admire most that she did something that like nadie en nuestra familia se atrevió a hacer because of fear, because of what people might say. And with all that, and she had like 4 children, and she was like, fuck it, I can't do this anymore, I'm just gonna end it. And she did it, and she did it, and she did it with
She
a lot of grace
herself.
and yes, she did it a lot of grace and dignity. And she became a better person for it. And so I admire her. I think she's my hero, and I always call her my hero. Like, you're fucking my hero. Like, I admire you. So she tells me that she admires me, but I'm like, I admire you. So yes, my sister.
¿Crees que estaba tratando de enseñarte algo
Sí.
que tú en algún momento ibas a necesitar que hacer o ser?
Yep. She definitely she did what my mom couldn't do, and she came to not only give me that example, but she also came to give it to my younger sister, and she basically told us like it's okay, like when you're not happy, it's okay, it's okay, like find your happiness. And she didn't even know that she was doing it, but she did it, you know, and she became that
Mhm.
example. So everything after that is like, well, ya no puedo decir I don't know it, I've never seen it before, because she showed it to me, you know. So a lot of
Laura did it, so
Laura
it's
did
okay for me to
it.
do it too.
Exactly, exactly. Porque se me hace que cuando venimos de familias
Mhm.
donde el matrimonio se hace como una, es como un trophy. Oh my gosh, if you've been married for so many
Mhm.
years, like la gente te mira with a sense of admiration, like, ay, pero cuántos años, 30 años, 40 años, ay, you know, but en realidad nadie sabe qué pasó, qué está pasando, nadie sabe nada de eso, nomás están mirando the length
Mhm.
of time. And for some reason,
Mhm.
we want to, we give it so much value, you know? And
Mhm.
I'm just like, no, this is an individual thing. This is like, this is a very it's on an individual basis by basis. Like, no, you know, that's how I only, that's how
Case
I
by
can
case.
exactly, case by case, like that.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it, because it's so individual. But in my
Mhm.
family, like, she came to do that, my sister came to do
Nice.
that, and it was hard, but she did it. And so I love you, sister.
And if she didn't know, she knows now.
And she knows now, yeah. And she just became a different human after that, you know. She became a different human, like, you know, she's like ballsy now, and she's just like, fuck it, like I could do it, you know. And like she wants to, you know, she's doing so many more things that que se atreve a hacer ahora que no se atrevía a hacer antes. So it just made her,
Mhm.
I just look at her like
Because
it
she
made her
found her
stronger.
power.
Yeah,
She found her power. She put
yeah,
herself first. She
I
chose
know.
for herself and found her inner power.
And that's
So,
amazing. So
¿qué más puedes pedir como
nothing.
ejemplo?
I've had the best example, and I'm so, and like, I don't know about everybody's big sister, but she's my big sister. Like, I'm like, you're my big sister, and I love you.
Mhm.
So thank you.
Now, is there a conflict or a tension currently with your siblings that just keeps repeating over and over and over and over and over?
Yes. So um con and this just kind of came up yesterday. I told you, I mentioned it to you earlier.
No
Yeah, it's not a
coincidences.
coincidence. So my with my little sister, she made a decision about 3 years ago that she was going to go no contact. And she went no contact with me, and she went no contact with my parents, and she went no contact with my brother. The only person that she chose to have contact with is my older sister, which I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, because you know she's the mom,
Hmm.
she's the other mom, and so she's, through her we know that she's well, and through Laura I know that my little sister's well, and we know that, you know, that if something ever happened, like we would know through her. And so I think she's like, my older sister has become the lifeline, you know, that still connects us to her.
Hmm.
um and that's been like really really hard. That's been really really hard, because like I said earlier, my little sister is, you know, she was always my best friend, and that, having her do that was really hard, but it was also a pattern that she was repeating, because there's been other members in our family that have also decided to go no contact, like they just
Oh,
disappeared,
wow.
you know.
Okay.
And so it's not that it's abnormal in my extended family, but it was abnormal in the family that I was born
In
in.
your immediate
And in
family.
my immediate family, it was like, people don't do that. And so it showed me a couple of things. It after the hurt, after like fucking hurt, like I wanted to die for a long time. And I, you know, I came to the point where I realized that it was the best thing for her, and she needed to do what she needed to do for her, and then I had to be okay with that. I noticed that she was just repeating what she knew. Like, we don't. know how to talk about what is going on, so people just run. They just run.
Mm-hmm.
And and to this day, like I'm trying to figure out why that pattern is continues to be a pattern, because it is a pattern. And I think it's become important for me because I have awareness of that pattern. And it doesn't mean that anything is going to change between her and I, between her and my parents. It doesn't mean anything. She could decide to never talk to any of us again, and we all have to be okay with it, and we all have to respect it. But I also noticed that this lack of communication and the lack of being able to speak about what it hurts is a thing that, forces us to continue to repeat the same pattern. And it's that, and I know it's that, because we were taught that, like, you don't speak about it, you just hold it in, and then you just forget about it, you pretend that it's not happening. But I know my little sister, and I know her so well that she it's really hard for her to contain that kind of energy. It's just so hard for her. And it had to have been probably the most difficult thing that she had to do. So she has to have a really, really good reason. And that's all I need to know. If whatever reason that she has for going no contact is as powerful as I think, that's I am I will wait as long as I need to wait. And if that means that I'm never gonna see her because that means her happiness, and I'm okay with that. I have to be okay. And it's really,
Mm-hmm.
really hard. It's really, really hard. She's my best friend. like
Mm-hmm.
like um yeah, it's hard.
She's always been important to you, and not
Yeah.
to not have her is challenging.
Yeah, I know. It's
For sure. For sure.
it kind of feels like I don't know, it's kind of like a mourning, like a mourning for the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's what I mourn. Obviously she's still here, but I mourn the closeness that we had
The
together.
presence.
Yeah, yeah. And that
Mm-hmm.
that's hard for me, because every time I have like happy news, like I think about her and I want to share it with her, and like she hasn't participated in anything of like anything. And when I
Mm-hmm.
graduated from college, I was just like I look for her to root me on. I'm so sorry.
That's all
what
right.
what the heck is happening today? Yeah. I
Remember what I said earlier?
Yeah. Purging. This is relief. So
Yes.
yeah, it's her. It's my little sister. I miss her because I'm a human, and because it's still wounds that we have to heal within our family. That it's I feel like it's wounds that are like they're wounds that are bleeding right now. Like they're still
Mm-hmm.
bleeding, and I'm like, I'm 50 years old. Like, why is it still bleeding? Like I feel like the time for us to for me for our family to do make these repairs is like se está acabando ese tiempo, and I'm just like, why are we still here? Why are we not moving forward? Why are we still here? And I'm not talking about it because it hurts. Like, why are we? And then I'm sitting with that because my experience isn't everybody else's experience, and I can't control
Absolutely.
anything, and I can't make anybody do anything. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, si de casualidad tu hermanita viera este episodio,
Oh.
what do you want her to know today?
I think that what I want her to know is that um I want to tell you, sister, that I created the first podcast that I created, Chulas Pero Mulas, was in an attempt to continue to like let you into my life, so you can know um that I always think about you, and like you inspire me to do so many of the things that I can like do now. And this podcast was also created with that idea, with that intention, that she would see it, and that she would know that she is still a part of a very important part of my life. And everything that I do like has to do with you know, with with not only healing me but healing our family and healing, you know, like her also, because and I think allowing her to see herself as somebody that has the ability to heal whatever it is that she wants to heal, and and everything that and siento como que muchas de las cosas que digo son mensajes para ella también, and I didn't have any other way of telling her other than fucking creating a podcast to expect to tell her. So that's me. That's me, and that's how much I love her because I still want her to be a part of everything that is happening, and I don't want her to miss any time. Like, this is to chronicle what's happening so that she is involved in everything, and that goes for my brother also. You know, is that I want both of them to know that they're still, like, they still have families, that they still have a sister, and then they have brothers, and they have parents, and anything that is going on that's happened in our past, like, we can heal it. We can, like, we can, anybody can, we have the ability to. And I don't have any, like, resentments towards her. Like, I have like, I don't resent her, I don't resent her decisions, I don't resent, like, anything that has to do with her. I just want her to be happy. And I want to tell you, sister, that I'm so happy that you're happy, and I hope you continue to be happy, even though I'm not in your life. I want you to be happy. So that's really important for me.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Con mucho amor, como dice nuestra amiga Walter Mercado.
Y la chilladera viene.
We're clearing energy out. That's all we're doing.
We are clearing energy.
All right, amiga. So, hemos llegado al momento for us to put some questions out there for all of us to reflect on. So, I'm going to invite everyone to take a deep breath in and exhale. And remember, no tienes que encontrar la solución hoy. No tienes que saber la respuesta. Simplemente siente en tu cuerpo dónde está esa emoción que se te viene a mente. And just observe it. ¿Qué papel jugabas en tu familia? ¿Y cómo ese mismo papel sigue dirigiendo tu vida hoy? What is it that you judge the most in your sibling? And where does that live inside of you? If you stopped blaming your sibling for what you experienced, what responsibility would you have to take today? Y por último, espejito, espejito, que estoy callando. Maybe today you saw something uncomfortable. Not with me, not with Irene, but within yourself. Maybe you realized that the frustration, the jealousy, the fights you've had with your siblings were actually mirrors. Nuestros hermanos no vinieron a competir con nosotros. Vinieron a activarnos, a mostrarnos lo que ya estaba dentro de nosotros, pero que no queríamos mirar. Every laugh, every annoyance, every chingada madre was a reflection. And healing doesn't always mean becoming best friends. Sometimes healing just means saying, I see it. I see what this dynamic taught me. I own my part. And I let the rest go. Porque cuando cambiamos la forma en que miramos el espejo, el reflejo cambia con nosotras. And maybe tomorrow when your sibling te colma el plato otra vez, you'll see not just the frustration, but a little whisper from life saying, mírate. Amiga, thank you so much for sharing your experiences, your life, your tears, your joys with your siblings, as always. Muy agradecida contigo.
Thank you, amiga. Thank you so much for being a part of this I will never stop saying how grateful I am, to know you. I'm so grateful that you exist. I'm so grateful that you do this. I'm so grateful that you're my Master Yoda. I'm so grateful that you very gently can see, things that I still like am refusing to see, because there are a lot of parts of me that are so painful right now that I refuse to see them. But when you lightly point them out to me, I have no other choice but to see it. I can't pretend that it's not happening, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm like like I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Like, that to be the coolest thing that could ever happen to any human, and it's happening to me, so it's gonna be really cool.
I'm just fulfilling my role in your life, amiga. That's all.
You as my Master Yoda. Okay, Master Yoda.
Yes.
so So thank you so much, amiga. Thank you so much for this episode. You work so much on the topics, and you work so hard on being so gentle with the words, and with the questions. I'm Thank you for that. And I want to say thank you, and to all our listeners. I hope that this episode touched on something. I hope that it made you reflect. I hope that that my openness and my vulnerability, me sharing these really sensitive areas of my life, can spark something in you, also wanting to look at the things that you're not looking at. You know, Liliana and I always say it. Just look at it. You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to nothing. Just look at it. Just look at it and sit with it and see what happens. And and we're here to guide you. We're always here. Send us a message. Let us know, what you've come up with. Let us know how it's working for you. Let us know if it's not working for you. Let us know whatever it is that you want to let us know. That's why we're here, to bring a message of unity. We're here to serve a greater purpose, and that has to do with healing us. And so, if we can do it, you can do it too. And so, thank you so much. And with that, we'll say goodbye. Thank you so much for sitting through this episode. Thank you so much for your continuous support, and we will continue to bring you more episodes as they keep coming back. We got a lot of conversations, and if this is the first episode you watch, go back and look at some of the episodes from the beginning, and something in there is going to resonate, because it always does. So remember to be kind. Be kind with everyone. The world is in need of kindness, compassion, and love. And if you're going to say something, make sure that you understand what's coming out of your mouth before it comes out of your mouth. And if it's hate, look at it. I love you guys. Until next time, this is your host, Irene, con la beautiful and magnificent Liliana. And we're here as beings of light. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. I love you guys.